shooter. Immense fun with your friends. Top down created some definitely suspenseful moments since you couldn't see what was coming on, and that of course has been traded for a third person over the shoulder view. Now I have my own reasons for believing of that change. One, it's easier to show off your fancy cosmetic armors. Two, it's more accessible, get a larger audience in. And of course, it's graphically going to look better because there's less corners you can cut with everything by doing it in that sort of manner. So you do have to create these good-looking, long lines of sight. You'd have to put detail where it can't be, where it was you didn't have to previously, before in the prior title, and it does look good. There are some issues I noticed, particularly in the reflections department. If you're on any map with water features, any sorts of ponds or oceans or any deep water that has any sort of reflections, or the water itself, there's no massive ripples coming from your character moving. That's a minor detail. But the actual reflections off the water of like trees and stuff, that doesn't show up there, and that's really only the graphically bad thing about the game. Otherwise, it does look really good. This is on a PC, so it's a lot different than what might be happening on a PlayStation 5. But that's if you can play it. Currently, the game servers are completely down, and they've been having issues for the last 9 days since launch. Can't connect to servers via quick play, can't connect to other players' dreadnoughts to start up missions. Most recently, their latest patch was supposed to fix all of these issues, which just made it worse, where you couldn't find no other players on any maps. It'd say this planet has 11,000 people on it. When you'd go in and across all difficulty levels, you would see 0 other players. You could play with friends, and that's if they were online. Or some people are going to be playing this entirely via quick play or matchmaking, and those people have just been kind of out of luck. And this has been an issue that has been mostly apparent on PC. It seems like the games were not created equally from PS5 to PC, at least connection-wise. I would say the game probably does look better on PC, just because you tend to have a more powerful machine there. I know I have a more powerful machine than probably 3 of each console put together, but it doesn't help when you can't play the game. So far, there's just the automatons, the bots, and the Tyranids, the bugs in the game, and the bugs are fun. The automatons, they're the more fun enemy to fight, and that has been really upped in kind of a third-person perspective. But that's if you can play it. Like I said, since day one, it's been plagued with connectivity issues, and they seem, even from what the developers are saying, or at least the word of the developers, that these issues are more prevalent on PC, which is not a good look if you're looking to begin launching the games day and date on PC as well. Normally we just get an unworking single-player game from Sony. 2 years later down the line, like The Last of Us Part 1 still doesn't work correctly. But the solution for PS5 players was turn off crossplay, load into a game, then just throw down a beacon and PC players can join. Well, no, PC players can't join. PC players can't really do much with this game. On top of that, I have major pay-for-power concerns. No. Yeah, you can get super credits from completing missions. You have to be able to play to do that. You get your medals by doing objectives and missions and stuff and turning them in. Yeah, and then some of them are turned in on a premium medal pass you have to pay for. Now, it's not immense changes, but they are changes to gear. There are different passives on armor sets that are not available for free, for people not pumping out extra money. The store itself is operating off of a FOMO system, where everything is up there for a day and then it's gone. And those items are also operating on a different set of passives, which are found in the premium battle pass, not the standard gear battle pass. I went through and looked. The premium battle pass also has weapons with special effects, such as the incendiary effect, lighting enemies on fire. That would be nice to have if you paid $40 for the game. I hear a lot of people giving right to games like Valorant. Actually, the best notable one is Diablo 4. Diablo 4 has some insanely expensive transactions. They're not even microtransactions at that point. The most recent one being a $65 bundle for a horse skin, which is armor, a horse skin for the horse itself, some mount trophies, as well as 7,800 platinum, which is the in-game currency. Those bundles are just like ways to get more money out of your currency transactions. The difference between that and spending $5 on Helldivers to me is your skin in Diablo does not give you any sort of advantage in any way whatsoever. In fact, Path of Exile is known for this. Skins are pay to lose. You lose visual clarity. Diablo's much better than that. You don't really lose visual clarity with any sort of skins. There's no effect skins or anything obstructing your entire screen or view. It's not like that. They're just insanely overpriced for what people have come to expect, but that's what the market shows. They can make more money by selling one $65 bundle to one person than, well, five $5 bundles or five $10 bundles to 5 people. Hell, even 6. If they can make the sale to one person for $65 or 6 people for $10, that $65 transaction is still better. And people consuming these products have taught them this. It's been this way since League of Legends started it. Riot really has been on the forefront of those expensive cosmetics, but they also sell characters, which is paying for power, which I don't. So, but yeah, it's not immense pay for power. It's not a PvP game, but there is pay for power. It's always a slippery slope. One of my favorite games of all time, Hawken, started down this rope, and it was an extremely slippery slope, and it just kind of went away. People stopped playing because you realized, hey, I can just pay for all of this stuff rather than actually have to play the game for all of this stuff, and it becomes a whale war. And that's what you see with mobile games or any sort of gacha game with PvP. People who could spend the most money spend the most money. What was that one game? Ni no Kuni Crossworld or something. The mobile PC gacha game. There's PvP elements to it. You spend more money, you are going to be doing better than other players.
Charge complete.
PvP, you're also just going to be doing better in a PvE environment. It's going to incentivize people to spend money to have an advantage, even if it is just for computer AI. And first time Arrowhead doesn't meet their financial goals, Sony might look past it. The second time, however, comes Season 2 or Season 3, Sony will not be so gracious. They're corporate overlords above the studio's corporate overlords, of course, because they have shareholders to meet. And they just did have a big meeting stating that we missed our console growth that we wanted to, so we're going to start pushing the PC more. They're not going to do any price cuts because they missed their revenue targets because of a lack of console sales. And with the big push into live service games, that's the only way forward to go, is power to be sold. Soon it's going to be special medals you only unlock if you have the premium battle pass. So you can't even save them up for then. It's going to be super credits are only earned once a day in the amount of 10. You don't pick up that many. People are always saying, oh, you can just pick them up. I pick up so many all the time. It took me a week to unlock a set of armor. Yeah, it took you a week to unlock a set of armor. Not everyone can play 12 hours a day like you can, sir. But I think outside the servers just not working, the pay for power, even in a PvE game, even if there is a small chance you can get around it by actually playing the game, it's a big no-no for me. I mean, once that comes to Diablo 4, I'm abandoning that game. Once it comes to Path of Exile, I'll abandon that. It's just not something that I want to be in a game that I play. Look at Diablo Immortal. My game is full of pay for power. That's not all on Blizzard. Blizzard gave the IP to NetEase, a notorious Chinese developer and publisher who made it, a typical Chinese mobile game or a South Korean game. There's so much paying for power, paying for convenience, that you need to pay money to stay relevant, to be invited to groups, to do bosses, to do dungeons. You see it everywhere in those type of games. And I really hope that it doesn't go this route, especially with Sony's further live service games coming up. We know Fair Games is on the way. We don't really know what Concord is yet. But with their big push in live service games, this might just be a staging ground, as you will, for what they can get away with in the in-game stores. And the pay for power is my biggest pet peeve with it. Not far behind is just after a week and 2 days, 9 days, the servers are still completely unoperable. I mean, they've gone down completely multiple times. To make up for lost currencies you didn't get when picking stuff up. Surprise, surprise, you're not getting your free super credits when you're completing missions. They were supposed to reimburse players at some point. Didn't happen. Instead, they gave a 50% XP boost. However, that broke the servers. So you're just kind of losing out twice now. I believe I have 11.9 hours, almost 12 hours of just attempting to play the game. And I think I phrased it best when talking to some friends. 9 out of 10 times, you will not be able to connect to a game. Or if you start your own game, other people will not be able to connect to you. 9 out of 10 times, you are not playing the co-op game in co-op, which means you're stuck doing easy or even some rare cases normal mode missions, which means you're progressing at an extremely slow pace, which is important in a PvE game where you need better and stronger equipment and gear to progress to the harder areas. Now, of that remaining 1 out of 10 times, 7 out of 10 times, you're stuck with people who don't know what they're doing. They're throwing grenades at your feet. They're not watching crossfire. They're calling down orbital strike stratagems on your own head, on their own troops. They're pod dropping on their own team. You're with the Special Tax Credit Division of Super Earth's military. Then 1/10 of that remaining time, the 1/10 of the remaining 2/10 of the total time you're playing is you're spent in loading screens of your drop pod until you disconnect. Congratulations, you connected only to be dropped and disconnected. And the last 1/10 of the time you get to play. And then about half of that time it's actually really fun and engaging. The other half is... it's okay. I'm really glad people are there's people who really enjoy this title. It's just the move from a top-down, fun, arcadey, hectic twin-stick shooter did not sound great to me. It's not playing as fun as the first title was to me, because we don't have any risky games like that anymore. You just can't monetize a top-down twin-stick shooter as much as you can a third-person shooter where you can have more vision on your armor and your guns, can you? I'm sure we're not far away from weapon skins, drop pod skins. There's already armor skins there. You have your capes, emotes. That store will expand. And you know what? If it's just capes which provide nothing besides appearance, emotes provide nothing but a cosmetic, drop pods provide nothing but a cosmetic, then we're good and gold. But you can already purchase items with different armor levels, different stats, different passive abilities, weapons with different passive abilities on them. We're already on that slippery slope going down, and I'm not thrilled for it. But if this is something you want to play and enjoy, by all means, go for it. If that's something you want to support, go for it. I'm not one to tell you not to. I will tell you not to play or enjoy Diablo Immortal, though. Netties can go suck a big ol' fat dick. I really wish Helldivers 2 was better. But it's hard to grasp how good it can be when you can't ever actually play it. And really, trying to get it to play has taken away time from me for finishing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, starting Granblue Fantasy Relink, and honestly, it's made me just go back and play Starship Troopers Extermination more. And Starship Troopers Extermination makes you feel like you are part of a larger team when doing the different missions on each map, whether it just be arc extraction or it was AS extraction, arc building. You got all that. You have your 4 squads of 4 people. You each have your own goals you do with one another, coordinated between the groups, building, collecting resources, killing patrols, whatever it might be. And then they even did add their 4-player hive extermination, where you're going through the bug tunnels and blowing up the actual nests. And that was super fun. So really, Helldivers 2 has rekindled my love for Starship Troopers extermination, so I can thank it for that in the end.